What's happening, my people? So, something I do on the channel from time to time, man, during the season, get our Walking Dead on. So, some people watch it, some people don't. A lot of people have jumped. I say this at the beginning of all these videos, man. A lot of people have jumped ship. People don't mess with Walking Dead anymore. Hey, I started off at the beginning, man, so I'm gonna ride this thing out. And so this right here, this is Walking Dead Season 11, Episode 2. Acheron Part 2. I think that's how you pronounce it. So last episode, man, the end of this episode, man, Negan left Maggie to die. She fell. She was reaching for help. He was like, yeah, we'll see about that. Bitch, you could die. So he just left her to die. She fell. What was gonna happen? So, beginning of this episode, we see she fell. She fighting these walkers or something. To me, I feel like it's a nod to Glenn. Because you remember when Glenn was by that dumpster and the walkers were piling on him. And so you were like, oh no, Glenn's dead. And he ended up crawling underneath the dumpster and surviving all that time. So you could see there was a crawl space or whatever. So that's pretty much basically how she ended up surviving, man. She had to get under the crawl space. But like Negan and them, they're moving on and they're going through subway cars and stuff. And they're like, where's Maggie? She was right behind me. I don't know where she at. Like, he knows what happened to her, but he didn't sabotage her. It's not like he kicked her to fall or anything, but it was survival. It was like, man, she wanted me to die. So, like, I'm supposed to go out my way and help her? Like, that was an opportunity. Like, to get my biggest foe out of the way. Like, so, I took it. That's in his mind. That's how he's seeing it. So, they going through their subway cars, man. Daryl, he's underground right now. He's burrowing through walls, like following Dog. So, he has to go through another set of circumstances other than the rest of the crew. And it looks like very eerie, like where he's at. And he sees like the subway pictures on the wall and the paintings and all this. It reminds me of Resident Evil, that old video game. Well, I can say old video game. They still be carrying it on. I don't know if they got updated ones or whatever. But I remember from back in the days. But it reminds me of Resident Evil. Yumiko, she kind of like showing her worth. Like, You seen the last episode, she seen that her brother might still be alive. She had her picture on the wall or whatever. So she is like, I'm going to flex my muscle, flex my intelligence. Like, I need to talk to the people and this and that. And I have this education from blah, 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 blah. And they are impressed by that. They are a society based on status and intelligence, wherever you was in life or whatever. And I think that is kind of foreshadowing as far as what, like, Daryl is looking at. Like, Daryl was in the subway tunnels, and he's looking at, like, some pictures and stuff, and it's look like social classism, in how that affects, like, an economy, like, affects people. And it's like, that's what happened in the subway system. They had people with money and whatever, and they felt like they were kings and stuff. They had crowns or whatever, and they was above everybody. And then everybody turned on them. That seems like that's how the Commonwealth is. The Commonwealth is based on society and high society, and we are above you and this and that. And I think the lower people will rebel against them. That's kind of somewhere to how it happened in the comic books, etc. But we'll see. But Dog is tripping. Like, he running through all these subway tunnels, man, and Daryl is trying to keep up. Maggie makes it back. So she is banging on the bottom of the subway cars though. She gets through. And shit, first thing she do, I don't blame her, is hit Negan. It's like, you bastard, you left here to die. And he like, yeah, so what? It's like, that's not a normal reply that somebody would use. Somebody normally would be, I didn't know, or whatever. Like, he accepts it. Like, he's like, yeah, you wanted to kill me. You said you were trying to murder me. Like, yeah, I didn't help you. Like, tough cookies. You gotta respect it. You gotta respect it in a certain kind of way. But then the thing about it is, like, Maggie has to kind of do the same thing. because they have one of the dudes. He was a traitor. He left with their goods and stuff last episode. So he comes back and he's banging on the door. Oh, I need y'all to save me, whatever. If they open the door, they're gonna be letting in a bunch of walkers, etc. So they might not be able to close the door back. So they have to have an executive decision. And Maggie does the same thing that Negan did to her. You're like, in order for us to survive, we gotta leave you to die. So half of the crew is torn. They're like, no, save him. Maggie and a lot of other people are like, nah, brother, you gotta die. And I think in that moment, it's kind of like, Negan not as much of a monster as we think, because, man, it's survival at the end of the day. It's something I be thinking about, like watching Walking Dead. Like, how strong are these walkers? Because we see homeboy, the walkers are coming at him, so he commits suicide. He stabs himself. In mere seconds, the walkers grab him and rip open his guts and stuff. Like, I'm not the weakest person in the world, but you give me 15 seconds and be like, man, you could get $1 million, man, if you could rip somebody's guts out of their stomach or whatever, just with your bare hands. I don't think I can do it. Like, the walkers just do it. Like, I remember with Dale, they just rip them open like it ain't nothing. Like, and then some people kind of try to justify, like, oh, where their hands are bones or whatever, they can, okay, if I only had bones, it still wouldn't be sharp like Wolverine. Like, so I'm like, I don't know. And then we see Maggie. People are like, man, that's the worst way to go. Oh, that's so gruesome how he died. And Maggie tells a story about something that she's seen in her travels. And it's like, I seen the worst thing possible. And in that moment, when I thought about, like, not about how bad this situation was, it was me and Herschel, and I was after the food. After I did what I had to do in this worst situation, I got this food and I got the hell up out of there. That's kind of where your mind has to be on survival. And then it goes back to Negan, man. Like, Negan did what he thought he had to do, even back when he was fighting against Rick and them. That was his survival method. Everybody has their survival methods and stuff, and some people are right, some people are wrong. People, at the end of the day, we still haven't figured it out. Nobody has figured it out. They are more similar than they think. I think they're coming on a common ground, man. So it's kind of dope. And we see Daryl is still fighting in the subway cars, and like, he gets through. Well, not through the subway cars. He's going through the tunnels and stuff. Like, he makes it through. He comes with a whole mace, like it's like a stick with a chain and like a ball. Like, that's old school, like gladiator type stuff. Like, where did he get that from? Just out of the blue? Maybe he had it in his bag or something. I don't know. But I'm like, a mace? Okay. Then we get to back to the subway cars and stuff, and they're trying to go forward in these cars and stuff. They can't open the doors. Homeboy got a whole sledgehammer and stuff, and he's gigantic, and he's hitting on these walls. He can't get it open. But where Homeboy committed suicide at, we get back to the strength of the walkers. And so, an armored door that he couldn't get through when he was human and stuff, but now it's the bunch of walkers and stuff, and they're pushing against it. And they're pushing this armored door down. They're getting through. Okay, so the walkers are that strong. I've literally seen a walker walk in. You remember when Andrew Lincoln and them, when Rick and them, they were leading the walkers away from Alexandria, I think, and they were going. They had a tin wall. It was like a little curve, and they had like a tin wall. Walkers were walking into that, and their heads was exploding. That's how weak they are in certain instances. But you mean to tell me they can push a steel door through just for the sake of the storyline? Like, it's okay. Okay, like, that's something that Walker did that bothers me at certain moments, man. But then we see them fighting for their lives. Maggie gives Negan a gun. like to help clear the walkers, because they coming from both sides now. So we see at that moment they start to have a little bit of more trust to each other. And out of all the people, she gives it to him. And I think because she knows that he gonna do what's necessary to survive. At that moment, I think she respects him a little bit, because he gonna do some stuff that the other people won't be able to do or whatever. I don't know. Maybe that's it. But then Daryl reaches the crew, and he's clearing walkers from the back. They get through, and like that's a dope scene. I ain't gonna lie, cause like he's killing them from behind or whatever. He ends up kind of opening the door, saving the crew, but he puts a grenade. He had got some ammo or something from dude that was dying or whatever. Anyways, so he got this grenade and he puts it in the walker mouth and he kicks it backwards and it blows up and like finishes the walkers or whatever in like video game fashion. But that was pretty dope. That was pretty dope. I ain't gonna lie. But we get back to the other crew, and Eugene, like, he's making a prison shield or something. Like, he's so nervous, like he's getting processed or whatever. You know, like, Eugene making a prison shield. What you ain't gonna do nothing with that. And then they talking to him and they like, just tell us the truth and this and that. And okay. So I was talking to Stephanie and on the machine, and yeah, I lied, and I'm a virgin. I watched too much, a lot of sex acts, but I've never been able to do it. I'm like, yo, like, Eugene is a trip. Like, I don't know, but they end up passing processing, and so they get accepted into the Commonwealth. Like, you are accepted into the crew or whatever. And so that's we gonna see what the Commonwealth is all about. It's all about, man. I hope they can help Ezekiel, man. Like, have like they did put him in the infirmary or something, and they start helping him. So maybe they're gonna have like some radiation in surgeons or something. I hope so, to be able to save him. I hope the brother don't go out like that. Negan ends up giving Maggie her gun back. And so it's just like these small scenes. It's not like super important stuff, but it's just like stuff that I'm catching. And I'm like, just like their trust and their interactions together, I think they're going to end up, they're not going to be love interests or anything like that, but I think at some point they might be able to respect each other and see that both of them are valuable in survival. So they are traversing into the next place, and so they're trying to get supplies. Like, she had like little supply area set up or whatever, and Negan is leading them, like he knows the area. So they going to these places. Man, at the end of this episode, they end up passing through this crew, and this crew is like shooting people and taking them out. It looks like they're gonna be like some gladiators or something, man. Like, this is gonna be interesting. The preview for the next episode looks good, man. It looks like Father Gabriel. Like, they talking about, you supposed to be a man of the cloth. God ain't here right now or something. Like, he look like he gonna be kicking some ass or something. Like, hey, it's interesting right now, but it's like, it's interesting, but it seems like this season might be slow. I think they're gonna have a lot of action, but it's gonna be slow as far as progress, because they're gonna drag it along. Because this season is gonna be like extra long in episodes and stuff. It's gonna be like probably 20-something episodes or something. So I think it's gonna drag at times, but it's gonna be like over the top because it's the last season. But I enjoyed it. I'm enjoying it so far, man. Like, I'm pretty sure like 5 people gonna watch this video or whatever. But hey, give me my little thoughts, man. Like to talk about Walking Dead, and to just give me some video content. Like, I like to upload as much as possible. But if you enjoyed this content, like, comment, subscribe. Gonna be the greatest of the most hated, man. Holla at your boy. Yo, peace.